Doesn't it feel like just yesterday? Okay, also a lifetime ago.
Welcome. You've got mail.
I thought this place was done teaching me lessons. But I was wrong. Not long after we said goodbye to each other, our high school started a national conversation. And lately, I can't get it out of my head.
You've been pampered, cosseted, doted upon, helmeted, bubble-wrapped.
It's the commencement speech that became a humbling YouTube hit.
Do not get the idea you're anything special, because you're not.
I pictured the people to whom I would be speaking. I envisioned them in the cap and gown, which said to me this ceremonial costume eliminates any individuality. They were on a literal level playing field. They would cross the stage alphabetically, not in order of class rank or some other distinction. All of which said to me, anything you might have achieved in the building no longer matters. The ceremony, after all, is commencement. It's a beginning. They were starting afresh.
The world we knew is gone.
Kicking off Thanksgiving with the nation's oldest high school football rivalry.
But some things are forever. So here we are, 20 years later. And I figure now's a good time to catch up.
I feel really nervous. I don't know why.
The last time I saw you.
So our stories can be part of the conversation.
I feel like we're not living the way our parents were at the age we are now. Life is hard, right?
Life is super hard. Yep.
And life is harder now than it's ever been.
I look at kids now and I think they just have an unrealistic sense of what the world is going to be for them. I don't think that kids are learning how to work hard in the way that we did. Does that mean that I think the world has opened up for us the way that we expected it to? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not.
I needed to do a lot of growing up and learning. I definitely did that in 20 years.
Only through us all talking, we're gonna make ourselves feel better about wherever we are and know that like every day you can change everything.
It was intended to be sort of warm-hearted teasing a bit with, big elements of truth.
You see, if everyone is special, then no one is.
I guess we should start at the beginning.
Even in Wellesley, one of the state's most prestigious school districts, money isn't enough to make up...
Okay, not that far back. We're not that old. All right, fast forward a little bit.
Tonight, the countdown begins.
Past the whole Y2K thing.
Was this a hoax? Was this a hype?
The end of the world.
What's going to happen when the old clock strikes midnight tonight?
Nobody knows.
A lot of Americans are taking no chances.
So far, Y2K has proven to be a dud.
And stop. The early 2000s, the days of Britney, MySpace, Blockbuster, our senior year. Back when the world seemed so much simpler. What happened?
One financial crisis after another.
It is definitely a very, very difficult time. It's not going to get better quickly.
I have today declared that the coronavirus presents a public health emergency in the United States.
We have rang the alarm bell loud
and clear.
A lot of people are struggling, and even worse, a lot of people are faking it.
The system that we were made to believe was in service to us no longer exists. I am exhausted. I'm tired. The math ain't mathing. It's just not mathing. It's not.
Yeah, it turns out a lot. It's been an interesting 20 years apart. So what do you say we compare notes, look back on the past, take stock of the present as we begin planning for the future?
On my way.
That's why I'm going home. Oh, and I should mention, if you're expecting one of those reunion videos that are popular on social media right now, the ones that are all...
This isn't that. This is an honest look at life through our lens. How are we doing? How are we really doing?
Okay, before we get rolling, a quick little TLDR on me.
Okay, I thought I'd seen everything in New York.
I tell stories for a living. My dad watched me on a plane once. Now I'm here. Anyway, I was going through our yearbook, as one does, and this page caught my eye. It reads, as the year progressed, there were many questions that needed to be answered. You've got my attention. Okay, who will win the World Series in the big football game?
For the first time in 86 years, the Red Sox have won baseball's World Championship. Can you believe it?
The Patriots looking for a second title in 3 years.
You better know those. Will Jessica and Nick stay together forever? They would not. What about Bennifer? That one's a little complicated. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, here. How will the seniors compare to past graduated classes? That is what I'm looking to answer, because it hasn't been easy. And special? Well, let's see if we can find some of that.
Been a minute since I've been in this neighborhood. Here's the Reedy house. I think they're still there. Here's the rock landscape.
First up, an old friend.
Well, I can tell you that whoever's living here now, they might be wonderful, wonderful people. But man, they have not kept up with the house.
At a favorite spot of ours before homeroom.
Do you remember how often we used to come here?
I'm going to go all the way back to middle school.
Okay.
I would say in middle school, we were coming here at least once a week or once every other week. Yeah.
Jordan still lives in state. He has a son.
He's going to be 8 in April.
Okay.
But he's like 7 going on 15.
Oh my gosh.
And he's typical, doesn't want to get out of bed to go to school.
I don't want to get out of bed some days either.
Yeah, I kind of never want to get out of bed, especially in the wintertime in New England.
Yeah, of course.
He also has a daughter who looks just like his mom. You have no idea. And it didn't take long before the conversation turned to how expensive it's all become, just like everything else.
We're not living the way our parents were at the age we are now. I don't want to go and say things were easier for them, but things were definitely different. I think as far as where we are now, life is a challenge. It's an everyday challenge. Manja, my friend.
Go for it, brother.
For the life of me, I cannot duplicate this at my own home.
I can't either.
It's just something about it. Wellesley is a part of my life that'll never leave. It's a different Wellesley compared to the one you and I grew up in.
Kind of feels that way. Huh?
It does.
Do you ever wish you could go back?
Go back at 38 like I am now, or go back to 15?
Let's say 38.
Okay. That's a tough one. I mean, yeah, I wish I could go back. I mean, I think it would be cool to live in Wellesley, but I know for sure that I could never afford it. When my parents bought their house, there was a few $100,000, and I think houses in Wellesley now are start at $1 million and can go upwards of 4 or 5, 6 million. You know, craziness. Jeez.
Wellesley's upper bracket, all right, often ranked one of the safest communities in America. But you know what's funny? I found a lot of you just say you're from Boston to sidestep the Wellesley of it all.
How much snow you're asking?
I think a plowable snow for a lot of us.
We're looking at around 6 to 9 inches of snow.
Ugh, and a January snowstorm isn't winning the town any points.
And possibly 9 to 12 inches of snow as you look towards Worcester.
Slick roads are really going to be the biggest impacts.
Sure is nice to look at, though.
And we do get plenty of sunshine for some melting tomorrow.
It just so happened Eve was visiting that same week. So we stopped by the new high school.
Raider pride. Ugh. Cool, okay, good.
And we grabbed some lunch.
Everybody's here who's been here the whole time, like that guy.
$45.95.
Hey, remember how long the lines used to get here on half days?
I don't think I could be happier than I am in this moment with the sandwich. Right on.
Give us an update. Where are you at in life? You can finish.
On paper, I live in the Netherlands because that's where my husband lives. I got married in August.
Whoa,
Yeah.
Mazel.
Mazel tov.
Would it shock any of you to hear Eve is still in the circus?
We met in the circus in 2018. We were both working and he was doing teeterboard. That's his discipline. It's kind of like a seesaw with people. And I was performing cloud swing and we met and we were like best friends and fell in love.
But it's not all fun and games. I found out this lifestyle, well, it's maybe not for everyone.
I don't have an apartment. I don't have a house. I don't have a car. I don't have a home base. Everything that I own in my life is in a storage in my college best friend's house in the Berkshires. So when I pass through before jobs or after jobs, I usually rock up there because it's where I store my equipment and all my clothing. And so I kind of just like go shopping in my own stuff, depending where I'm off to next and what equipment I might need. You can't do circus unless you love it. It's too brutal. I have no consistent work. I have no like long-term, for the next 5 years, I'm doing the same thing. It's always like this, which is very normal for people in my career and profession, but on the outside seems absolutely insane. But
I'm on the outside. It doesn't seem so insane. It seems
like
a little scary.
It's definitely terrifying if you really zoom out. But for the most part, I get to travel, see people who I love everywhere all the time because, I have a job in Germany, so I'm going to be in Europe. So I'm going to visit all these friends. Or on my job in Florida just finished, I'm going to pass through Boston. I'm going to go to my storage. I'm going to hang out with you. Like, I get to see people a lot because I'm on the move most of the time. I just don't have a lifestyle where I even have the means to like fantasize about like having a home or a car or an apartment. I mean, where I'm going now in Europe is I'm renting a friend's room. She's leaving to go on tour, so her room is available.
Does that worry you?
Yeah, for sure. Especially now that I'm like married and I do want to have a family and we want to have a family circus. We want to have a home base where all of our stuff is together that we can come home to. I'm sure all of your clothes are in a closet. That sounds awesome. Or maybe on the floor, whatever. You have a floor to put them on. It does stress me out at 37 to not have that piece of stability. Big time. My next official job doesn't begin until June. And yeah.
Eve's got a unique approach to everything. She's got this life lesson we could all use. You'll love it. But this just isn't the time. So let's hit pause on our chat. We'll come back to it, I promise. It was important I hear from as many of you as possible. The more voices included, the better. So I put out the call.
I just want to put out some feelers.
Posted to social media, even made a spreadsheet to keep track.
Cool.
And boy, did you respond.
There you are.
Hi.
Sammy, you want to say hi?
This is Sammy.
Now, what else are you not telling me?
I'm pregnant.
Can you squeeze in? There you go.
Hey, how's it going?
There he is.
What's going on?
What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Good. How you doing, buddy?
Hey.
How's it going? I got you. Yeah. What's up? It's been a minute.
What's up? It's been a minute.
Like 20 years, right?
Last I checked.
How do you think Wellesley prepared you for what it is you've accomplished so far in life?
The value of education was instilled in me very young.
Has life played out the way that you had hoped?
I think I feel really grateful for where life took me. I could have gone in lots of different directions.
You seem like you have just conquered life.
No.
Hi.
Hi. I can't see any of you. I'm frozen again.
It's crazy how different the world is today.
It really is.
I think there are certain things that I have found matter a lot. You know, the last 3 weeks has been running around without shoes on and having popsicles and staying up late. Having those types of summers is something that I have fond memories of and want to create for our family.
Miss Lynn in high school was really one of my big influencers. I should let her know that, because now I'm a therapist. Super fun, edgy career. It keeps me guessing, keeps me growing.
Coming from Wellesley, we were given a lot of opportunities that other people don't get.
My mom brought down a zip drive and I paid $100 for a converter so I could get my files off of that disk. So I have like everything I've ever written.
You paid $100 so you could read old papers that you wrote a quarter century ago.
I sure did. Yeah.
Were you in my class?
Was I in your class?
I think you might have been.
Was I?
Can you hear me?
Look at you, brother. Holy cow.
What's going on?
You somehow look younger. Walk me through the Idaho of it all, because, what?
That's probably like the sweetest part about all of this.
How you doing?
It's great to see you. Sorry, I didn't know how close this was gonna be, but this is my office up here. Office.
This is my toy room.
I was gonna say, your backdrop's way cooler than mine.
All right, let me add Aaron.
Hi!
Okay, the stage is yours.
All right. La la la!
Do you feel like it's been 20 years? Do you feel old? Do you feel like it was yesterday? Okay, not all at once.
Wellesley is not the average experience.
Everyone's paths like really diverge, right?
And then I have Sawyer here too.
Oh my gosh, that is the reveal of all reveals!
All right, Sawyer, buckle up.
Los Angeles, here we come.
We got a lot to get to. I had to get away from the cold weather, so I headed west to Hollywood to meet up with an old classmate now making a big splash.
Since we last saw each other, I don't know, I feel like I've had a life, like a full-on second life.
Chris's latest movie he produced for the streaming world is getting plenty of buzz.
Tell me, do you see any poobies? Oh, wow.
I met him as he was picking up dog poop in the yard.
There's so many.
That's life for you.
You haven't been picking them up.
You and I were in the editing class together, right?
Yeah, film Mr. Brown.
Mr. Brown.
The best. I mean, I'm lucky. I feel like there's a lot of people that wandered around not knowing what they want to do. I mean, out of that class, I knew I wanted to be in film.
When he wasn't editing videos in high school,
Take your mark.
Go!
Chris spent just about every waking minute in the water. How fitting, he now lives right down the street from the ocean.
I started swimming late in life because I started when I broke my back. I don't know if you remember, but in like 8th grade, I had to wear that back brace. That's like, this is where you insert the photo of me with some ridiculous back brace. But yeah, I did it as physical therapy there and got really good.
Swimming got him to college where he studied film. He had hoped to make the Olympics after graduating, but when that didn't work out, he decided to pursue his other love. He was determined to never get outlapped.
Once I didn't make the trials in that summer, I came out here, just got in my car, moved out here.
To LA?
To LA.
Just because?
Yeah, with one of my best friends from college who hadn't decided too that he was going to make a big change in his life, and we both were like, let's go to California to change our lives.
You hear all the time about people who want to move out to LA and they just don't make it.
Yeah, I knew I wanted to be in film, but I started off as like an editor and had to grind and My first job, someone told me this and it was great advice. They said, everything in the world is about who you know. I can't blow bubbles, man. Oh, that was a bubble. Okay, ready? We need that bubble gun, huh?
Other than the bubbles,
It's like 3 bubbles at a time.
he's figured it out. You might say he's now swimming in success.
Go, Chris!
It's not about working hard. That is always it, but it's working smart and hard, you know? I think I'm just very fortunate. I got a lot of good luck and knew how to capitalize on good luck. I have a handful of friends that, like, you know, we all came out to LA around the same time, and I'm the only one still here. And that's like every day I'm like, got to keep pushing, you know? I mean, I don't know how much he eats. Oh, this one has corn. Did you have corn last night? Yeah, you did.
Okay, but you got lots of space here. Ready? Go! Oh!
Lisa Ratner
Skip it to me! Oh!
and her daughter were skipping along at a nearby park.
Can I try?
So, of course, I skipped over that way myself.
Put it down lower.
They try to squeeze in as much fun as possible.
Yeah, there you go. There. Oh!
They don't take these moments for granted.
Woohoo! Can you do it again? My approach has been to focus on, like, small things that I can do that have impacts. Like,
It was no small thing she did at what can only be described as the worst of times.
We begin with the very latest on the coronavirus emergency.
Heightened states of emergency across the nation.
Screening passengers for symptoms of a deadly new virus.
he will remain in isolation.
The number of hospitalizations climbing in the wrong direction.
It's constant suffering and death and dying.
If you look at how we've been hit badly.
This was her day-to-day.
Tell me about the pandemic.
It was the worst. Still is the worst. I think anyone in healthcare could tell you it was not a good time. It was, like, very traumatic. No one in the hospital setting was spared from, I don't even know how to describe it. Even not even working like at sort of ground zero in the ER or the COVID ICU, you'd still hear all the codes being called overhead, like code blue, COVID positive, whatever. And it just constantly, always a rapid response, always a cold blue, like every half an hour. And you just knew that people were suffering. And then our ICU patients, they were suffering because their families couldn't visit. I mean, the pandemic shattered so many of my illusions about security and cohesiveness and unity. I really think that my outlook and my optimism has changed.
Where did you find that strength to keep surviving?
Oh, Abigail, 100%, my kiddo. I see it.
It's all about perspective.
He's cute. Oh.
These two love their adventures together, and they've got a lot to look forward to.
What is your relationship with Wellesley?
What a gift it was to grow up there. There's something to be said, honestly, for being sheltered and for feeling safe. And that just feels like a really great gift, and I'm really grateful for it.
Are you an LAer for life?
No.
No. What's the plan? Is there a plan?
Can't tell you right now because she doesn't know.
Got it.
And now, time to head back east. Hey, look, the marathon.
In 2016, I ran the Boston Marathon for the first time, and getting to run through Wellesley on Marathon Monday, I gotta say, is one of the coolest things ever.
Next up, it's off to Jersey. Now to someone who made quite an impression on our class. If your memory's a little fuzzy, let me help you out. In 11th grade, John won over the auditorium while giving a speech in his bid for class president. I seem to remember him bribing us with a plate of cookies.
You know, I found it really validating. I don't know why I needed that validation at that time, but I came to the school as an outsider, right? I had not gone to Wellesley Public Schools. I was a private school kid who got kicked out for being class president. And I'd led a student rebellion. And that's why I wound up at Wellesley High.
And as fate would have it, there was another new student that year who made quite the impression on him.
I hear you have quite the story to tell.
I've got a story to tell. There was this girl that I had a crush on in high school. I took an interest in her. I would sneak out of biology class in junior year, and I'd go visit Bill Jacobs down in the art studio. I would talk to him. I enjoyed doing that. But I enjoyed just as much checking out this girl who was incredibly beautiful. And so, yeah, I carried that crush with me for a while. Junior year boat cruise, we danced a couple of times, and we snuck off to, in fact, the party upstairs, which
It's
I
like
think was
old
for
people
yeah.
party. Like they were like really elderly. Like I don't think they were even aware that we were there.
If you haven't guessed it yet, let me help you out again. Yep, that's her, Ufara.
Going to America was actually my first time going abroad ever.
She was a foreign exchange student in Wellesley for such a short period of time, but it was long enough to steal John's heart. Something we can all relate to at that age.
Not so many people remember her being there. So
Thank you.
It's like, I'm sorry, but you know.
The two fell out of touch over the years. Both went on to live wildly fascinating lives, traveling the globe. The universe just wanted them together, I guess.
One day, I'm looking over my coworker's shoulder, snooping, really. We're getting ready for a big global health conference.
It was in Bali.
In Bali. And I see the name Ufara Zawasti in his inbox. I'm like, how do you know Ufara? Oh, she's coming to the conference. So I made a point, let's get together. And from there, we started dating pretty quickly. And we were married four months later.
4 months after. We dated 4 months. And then we prepared the wedding for like a month.
Yep.
It was just like quick.
And they haven't slowed down since.
It's weird now to see, I guess we're millennials, right? So it's Gen Z.
We are not, are we?
We're millennials.
Oh, really?
Yeah, technically we're millennials.
Okay.
Yeah, it's weird to see Gen Z calling millennials old.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Yeah, I guess we're getting old, huh?
Remind me again about that after party the night of the boat cruise? Who's the old one now?
You're still questioning whether the story's about you?
Yeah. I was like, is it me?
It is unbelievable the chemistry you two have.
We should get married.
But did we get married?
And it's back on the road.
I'm excited about this trip.
From our class president, we're going to meet up with someone who may just be the real president one day. Off to our nation's capital.
So, I'd have to take some notes.
What you been up to since Wellesley High?
Since Wellesley High. So I've been trying to make the world better since Wellesley High.
And would you believe me if I said Carrie actually did it?
Who were you in high school?
I don't know that I had a group. Like I had different friends and I really enjoyed one-on-one close relationships with people from different backgrounds.
After high school, Carrie went off to college. Funny thing about that major she signed up for.
What I signed up for was a major that not one other student registered for. The idea was studying the implications of science and technology on society. But for me, I knew I wanted to study hospital administration. I would show up for class in an auditorium for 300 people and literally be the only student.
But being one of one didn't scare her, it pushed her. It pushed her so hard, in the blink of an eye, she was traveling the world studying public health. It opened her eyes and became the driving force behind the company she later founded in her 20s.
The Global Good Fund started as a nonprofit organization over a decade ago. So it was really from lived experience. If we take bets on people, on individuals, and those people grow businesses, that'll be a tremendous way to have a ripple effect and positively influence the world.
Today, her company's work touches just about every corner of the planet. What Carrie's done in a short period of time is simply astounding. Her name may as well be under winning in the dictionary. Frankly, that's part of the reason why I wanted to meet up.
As you're climbing up the ladder, Are you focusing just on work, 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 work? Does Carrie have a life?
I have an amazing mentor in the co-founder of Global Good Fund. And he sat me down when this all got started. And he asked me if I had a financial life plan. And I said, I don't even know what a financial life plan is. And he pushed a stack of napkins across his desk. And he said, you're going to write your financial life plan because I know there are certain things you want from your life and they cost money. And I've made some mistakes along the way that I want you to have the benefit of knowing about and maybe avoiding mistakes and making your own and replicating what you want to replicate. And so that was an incredible gift.
That got me thinking about our financial life plan. I'm talking as a generation. What a ride it's been. Who better to learn from?
So if you had to write the book for all of us,
I wouldn't even try to write a book for everyone on life. My lesson for myself is that never be afraid to ask, just go for it.
There are a million little things she could teach us, like how she handles getting rejected countless times on a daily basis.
I get rejected more than most people I know.
But I found great value in a story she told about an out-of-the-blue hike during one of her many adventures that changed everything.
When I was in college, I was an RA, and one of the other RAs was from India. So I asked, could I come stay with his family and volunteer in the slum? And he said, my family would love that. I was a bit over a month in India, and then I went from there to Tanzania, and I actually met a childhood friend of mine there. He got off the plane with an LL Bean duffel bag of all this hiking equipment, and I came off with my summer dresses and flip-flops from India, and I was like, what is the hiking equipment for? And he said, well, we're here in Tanzania, we might as well hike Kilimanjaro. I literally had nothing and no equipment. I mean, I truly had flip-flops. And so I ended up borrowing a jacket, sock, 9 layers of socks, boots, the whole bit from the community. And for a few weeks, we taught public health in a community center in rural Tanzania, and then hiked Kilimanjaro.
Oh, wait a minute. You're the first person in history, I think, who says, and then I hiked Kilimanjaro, and you borrowed all of the stuff?
I didn't know we were hiking Kilimanjaro when I arrived.
Like she always does, Carrie took a bet on herself. She went for it. She's reached the summit in more ways than one. And we could certainly use her advice because none of us knew the mountains we'd be facing the second we stepped foot in the real world.
It was one of the most profound events in generations with huge consequences for the American economy.
That 07, 08 time frame coming out of college, what was that time in your life like?
That was a really tough time for me.
Now it's official, we are in a recession. The question now, when will it end?
I think a lot of people our age were raised with parents who said, go to school, work hard, you'll get a job, everything will work itself out. That wasn't the case for our generation.
And ultimately our country could experience a long and painful recession.
As you know, you graduated in 2008 as well, right?
Yep.
The market was pretty awful.
Sending shockwaves through Wall Street.
The markets haven't been this volatile in almost 80 years.
So I just jumped on a company, did moving for a year and a half, driving trucks up and down the East Coast. I did what I had to do.
Its effects of the recession that followed on income, wealth, inequality, and our politics are still with us.
I think timing for us has always not been necessarily on our side.
It turns out the abyss is deeper than most people think.
You would think over time, we want to do better than the next generation. It's not happening anymore.
Do y'all not feel like we got the weird end of the deal?
For the first time in our nation's history, a 30-year-old man or woman isn't doing as well as his or her parents were at 30. That is the social compact breaking down. Housing prices have gone from $290 to $420 in the last 4 years. Young people have every reason to be enraged.
I'm tired, bro. I don't know about you, but I'm tired, man.
as we approach 40, a lot of working professionals think this is where the apex of my career is going to be. And I think a lot of people feel really stunted, like they never got a fair shake. I'm just kind of curious where you fall on this.
I think the framing of the question surrounds a lot around the focus and the priorities of the town that we grew up in.
What I would find a challenge here at Wellesley is it feels like the pressure has been ratcheted up.
We're not even 40. We've already gone through a recession, economic difficulty, a global pandemic. We still have a long way to go.
We certainly do.
At least to me, it feels like we've been through a lot. Like generationally, like a lot of
We took it on the chin economically.
I do worry that we're going to just go through our entire lives, careers,
just getting by.
Just getting by.
Yeah.
You know, in the 50s, it would take you 2 years of your annual salary to buy a new house and a new car. There's no way. Like right now, I'm just trying to fight to keep my house. It's hard just to pay all the bills.
You know, it can often feel like the climb is never ending, but you keep hiking.
I worked hard to where I am now. It's been good. Can't complain. I mean, you can, but who's gonna listen, really?
How old are your kids? 9, 7, and 5.
You seem like you're doing really good.
Yeah, can't look into the future, you're gonna waste today. Can't look in the past because you're gonna waste tomorrow. The kids really ground you. Just taking each day and making the best of it and, you know, trying to move forward and make a better life than I had when I was their age and giving it to them. I don't know if I'll be able to do it. It's tough in this climate.
As Carrie reminded me, one step at a time. Borrowed boots and all.
I believe in taking a chance first on myself, because if I don't take a chance on myself, how can I possibly expect someone else to take a chance on me? It was breathtaking. I'll remember that scene forever. I could see the world in a different way.
What drew you to want to help the world?
I guess it must be part of my upbringing.
My parents made it look easy, and I know it wasn't, but I think because of how we grew up, it was just like, yeah, this is going to happen, and then this happens next, and it all happens, and it's not really what's happening.
There's a conversation in Buddhism called the plight of the two arrows. The first arrow is suffering. Can't avoid it. You're going to be hit with it all the time, constantly, whatever. There's no avoiding the arrow for the first arrow. The second arrow is perpetuating your own suffering by the narratives you tell yourself, which is you have complete agency over the second arrow. I think about the second arrow every single day.
When 2008 hit, the family business was struggling a little bit, and it was around that time I decided, you know, I didn't want this business that my parents started to close. And so that's kind of when I came and started helping. My parents have owned this wholesale nursery business for the last 40 years, and I'm the only child, and it just seemed like the right move to do. If you asked me in high school if this is what I was gonna do, I would say 100% no. But it just seemed like the natural calling, and I love what I do. They say it takes a village, and I have a great village.
I think what was striking to me after leaving is appreciating how gorgeous a town it is. Like, it's charming, and there is a main street. That, for me, reflects community.
I remember eating lunch with you in like the art hallway. I was always in the art room. I didn't go anywhere else. Erin and I both went to Skidmore, and we were best friends and roommates for all the years. Right after graduating Skidmore, I moved to New York, and I thought I was going to go into textile design or fashion, but as I'm sure everybody has mentioned, '08, like no jobs. And at that point you had to like pay to have an unpaid internship. Basically my boss at one of my internships was like, listen, you don't really like this and you do really like teaching. You talk about it all the time. So maybe you should go get your master's in that and do that. I became an art teacher and I worked for 10 years at a charter school in the South Bronx. I wanted to make sure that I was working with a population that might not have the same opportunities that I had. Going to Wellesley, we had a fantastic art program, which really gave me the education that I needed to pursue what I wanted to do. And I knew from the start that I didn't want to work with kids who don't need it.
What I think is really remarkable about Allie is the fact that you stuck to all of your ethics and morals in every job you had and actually made it an intrinsic part of your job is like one of my favorite things about you, Allie.
Thank you so much, Erin. That's so nice. Social justice and activism has always been a really important value of mine. In high school, I was in what is it called? Diversity Club.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, when it comes to that, let's just say Wellesley doesn't get a passing grade.
I recognize that my life has been framed in privilege. I recognize that we did not go to a diverse high school.
And I've thought a lot about that the more I've been traveling. So I went back to school to get educated.
My dad was actually the METCO director when I was a kid, and that's really how I got involved. METCO was established to help desegregate suburban schools. You had no real control over where you went. So it took kids from the city of Boston and brought them to suburban schools. I would say probably once I hit like 7th grade, I began to notice differences, right? People were lovely and friendly to my family. I've always gotten along with a lot of people. But as I've gotten older, I think you notice the issues of race and inequity a lot more.
METCO in general was great. It definitely helped out a lot of kids in the city that, to be frank with you, I probably would have gone down a different path. Thankfully for my mother, she got me into the program and I got to go to Wellesley. It wasn't what I was used to.
What did Wellesley look like to you?
Rich town. A very rich town. Once I started playing sports, it kind of opened up for me. I don't know. Seeing that and what I wanted in the future, it made me work harder for what I have now.
A great place to grow up. A lot of opportunities. I mean, even getting into college, I wasn't always the best student, but having Wellesley High School on your resume didn't hurt.
I feel lucky, honestly. I feel like there was just a lot of luck involved, I managed to get a good job in 2008. I got into grad school despite less than stellar GREs. I got a good job after that. I had opportunities, just kind of fall in my lap. And I know some of that is right, I worked to get to where I am, but so much of it is just luck and privilege.
I remember everything. I think for a long time, I missed some aspect of it. It was like, we didn't know as much as we know about the world and all of the terrible things that go on. We were really sheltered by a lot of the rest of the world. And it was, even going into college, I was like, man, I wish I had that minivan I complained about, and, full tank of gas and being handed $20 for lunch every day, which is an ungodly amount. No kid needed it at that point, but
I got $20 a day.
I did. I couldn't believe it. Yeah.
I couldn't tell our story without talking about Lisa Gallup. Gosh, she was the best, wasn't she? The captain of our team. So I met up with her brother Barry in Boston. I wanted to know all about his big sister. How has she been gone more than a decade already?
From the earliest days, she just was someone that everyone gravitated towards. She was never the best athlete, and she would say that. She just loved being out there, having fun with her friends, but she ended up being a 3-sport captain in high school, which is pretty much unheard of. Something that we were all really proud of, but I think just spoke to what people thought of her as. I remember my mom saying she tried to, get my sister involved with dolls early on, and just between my dad being a football coach, my brother and I with balls all over the place, she just didn't really have a choice. So,
right. Forget the dolls, we're going sports.
Forget the dolls. She had a ball in her hand pretty much from the early days, so that's how it started.
I love that.
Smile, Lise.
After Wellesley, Lisa went to Boston College. It's great. She was close to home, her mom still did her laundry, and it was around this time she found her calling in nursing, which ultimately led her to New York City.
But she just wanted to, make the world a better place, and she didn't have to become some famous person. I think even in a small way, just always being there for our family, being there for her friends, just throughout her daily life, just wanted to make everyone happy in a better place overall.
And was she still in school when she was diagnosed?
She was still in school. She was working full-time in her mid-20s. She was also going to school to get her nurse practitioner's degree, and she was diagnosed with cancer. And this was a girl who was living in New York City. That was always her dream. Working in a profession she loved, had a ton of friends, was on top of the world, and got this diagnosis that, was nothing that she ever expected. She never felt sorry for herself. She actually kept working as an oncology nurse, and she would have, families that she was taking care of, sick patients. And I always remember one of the family members said, when she was trying to console them, like, you have no idea what we're going through. And they had no idea that my sister was actually a cancer patient herself. But that's how she was. Like, she put other people first. Even when she got her diagnosis, we felt like we hit rock bottom. But for her, she kept working, kept going to school, wanted to be a normal girl in her mid-20s, still hosted game nights. And I'd say until the very end, never lost that special person that she was. The tough thing is they never actually knew exactly what she had. So she had some form of soft tissue sarcoma. But there's so many different variations, and in order to get treated properly, like, you have to be able to diagnose exactly what type of form of cancer you have.
Yeah.
So that's actually why she got involved in this organization, Cycle for Survival.
Barry didn't just meet me in the city to talk. He came to ride.
In 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Like he does every year.
It can take years to find, the right treatment, and she knew that it probably wasn't going to help her, but she put all her energy into this organization because she knew, there were going to be people, unfortunately, in her shoes down the road that, they didn't have an answer for my sister, but they would hopefully have an answer for them. And that's the reason why we still, support this event to this day.
You give yourselves, you give each other.
You guys are gonna get the biggest kick out of watching this.
To be so young is what I just keep going back to, because the last image of her in my head is 18 years old, graduation, life ahead of us.
Yep.
And how unfair and cruel it is that such a beautiful girl at such a young age, the world was robbed of her.
Yep.
What do you want the world to know about your sister?
Everyone has issues, like, that's understandable. People have problems that they get upset about throughout the day, but just try to see the bigger picture. Like, we're all very fortunate to be here. Like, every day we wake up, just try to wake up and see the good in people. Try to, make the most out of your day. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Just really try to think about what makes you happy. That's really how my sister lived her life, and that's something I strive for. I'll never be on her level, but
You know, she and I were as close as could be, and I feel, you know, responsibility to carry on the way that she went about her life and, you know, try to help others.
Do you know how much she was loved in Wellesley?
I know how much I loved her, and I could tell, you know, that she was loved by a lot of people. And I'm not surprised, just knowing, you know, the type of person that she was, you know, the kind of heart that she had. There really just aren't many people like her.
She's a woman of great courage. She's a person who has come through a fierce storm and is beginning to see the sunshine again.
Miss her to this day. I don't have any regrets because I feel like every day of our life together, like we had so much fun. We had normal sibling fights, but like we always made up at the end of the day. And you know, we named our daughter Colette Lisa Gallup, so you know her middle name will always be a part of our daughter's life. She's only 3, but we're already starting to talk to her about my sister.
It is with extreme joy that I present this year's senior cup to Lisa Gallup.
I remember, like at the very end, she was at peace because I think she had, even though it was a short time on Earth, like she had a very fulfilling time. And that's what I would pass on.
25.
25.
It's been 20 years
right
since we last saw each other. So fill me in. What are you up to? Where are you in life these days? And who is right by your side?
Basically been in academia my entire adult life. I got 2 master's degrees and recently just finished my PhD. Yay!
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So a special ed teacher. I really struggled when I was younger as a student. You know, I was a student that received services. So kind of a big piece is kind of giving back to kind of my experience. There are certain students that I will open up to about like, I actually do know what you're going through. I did live the experience too, but I don't tell that to all of my students. It's kind of a select few that are really kind of like at that time where they're struggling and like really, you know, down on themselves and really hard on themselves. And I've seen kind of a change with those students when I have disclosed kind of my personal experience as well. They're like, oh, wow, well, you're a teacher now. So clearly like you did something right, you know?
Is this the life that you envisioned when you were getting ready to enter the real world?
It's been so long that I have presumed that this is my life that I've forgotten what like reality looks like, to kind of take a step back. Got married after law school and then had a kid towards the end of my time at my law firm, who is now upstairs screaming instead of sleeping as she should be.
How old's the kiddo now?
She was born in March 2020, right before the pandemic. We had 2 weeks of normal.
And then the pandemic hit. What was that like?
Terrible. I do not recommend having a baby, especially your first, in 2020. It was a really, really terrible experience.
I made the decision to go to law school and I graduated 5 years ago. I went to Quinnipiac. I loved it.
Do you feel like you came into your own when you left Wellesley?
Yeah, for sure.
Did you even remember me in high school?
Oh, yeah. I remember you more in middle school. I have this one memory. We had to do this orienteering thing in 6th grade. And like we had to go like down to the field and like use compasses and stuff. And I think you were really into it. And I'm looking at the compass trying to like figure out what any of it means. And I couldn't do it.
Thanks for putting this together.
Well, speaking of directions, you might need a map to find Charlotta. She's now out west.
Hey!
How are you? Sorry, I'm not tech savvy.
Her best friend Cara, on the other hand, decided to stay back east.
I was always way more talkative than Cara.
These two always seem to be a little yin and yang.
Physically, Cara is like tiny, and I'm very tall, right? Cara, you're what, like 5'1"?
I round up and I say I'm 5'2".
But they're also 2 peas in a pod. And they've come to lean on each other over the years, especially when things got hard.
I was diagnosed with a seizure disorder my freshman year of college. I started losing consciousness. Doctors didn't really know what was going on and diagnosed me. I have medically uncontrolled epilepsy, unfortunately. So I haven't been able to drive again.
Her diagnosis soon changed the course of her life.
Just really geared my whole career towards helping people who are dealing with something like that, which is, I think, can be a life crisis. You know, it really turns the way you thought your life was going to be in one direction, and suddenly, in an instant, you're going in a completely different direction. So it really just became my motivation to help as many people as I could. I've always liked to help people. It's always been a part of me. I mean, back to being a little kid, you know, I was always doing different volunteer projects, and I started something when I was in, I think, elementary school called Send a Senior a Smile.
Yes, I forgot about that. That was so cute.
It always made me happy to feel like I was helping that one person maybe get a smile. Just one person. I'm not changing the world, but hey, one person. That diagnosis, it really devastated me for a while. I'd be lying if I said, oh yeah, I immediately came out of it and everything was perfect. No, I really relied on a couple friends. I was scared to tell anyone until probably within the past 2 years. I didn't make it public. I hid it from people. I was petrified that employers would find out and wouldn't want to hire me because of a medical condition, that people would judge me, things like that. Why am I not being proud to share my story and tell other people what I dealt with and how I'm dealing with it now? That I had tough times and now I have good times, so that it can help motivate them. Why am I sitting here being a promoter of the stigma? I wrote a story and put it on LinkedIn, circulated it on my Facebook, and that was really my big, like, all right, I'm getting this out to everyone. I need to get it out off my chest and really feel like people know the true me.
And how does that feel?
It felt so liberating to me.
I'm so proud of you, Cara.
Carlotta was, I think, one of the 2 people I told.
Well, now I know why we wanted to do this together. I didn't know I would need tissues for tonight.
The importance of being you, being authentically you. That, I've come to learn, is the secret sauce. And I think now's a good time to go back to my lunch with Eve.
When I was 12 or 13, my mom signed me up for circus camp. In the beginning, I was like, that sounds stupid. I don't want to go there. All the kids are going to be weird. But then I went and I was like, oh my God, we're all weird. Like, I fit in so well, and immediately felt, this is my like home. This is my community. And my family has only ever been very supportive. They were like, don't get on what my dad calls the conveyor belt of life. He's like, you know, you got to buy a house, you got to have kids, you got to work. He's like, don't get on it.
Wow.
I was like, all right, let's go. So they've only ever been like, don't do what everybody else does. Just go your own way and make it work.
Are you happy that you followed that advice?
You know, it took a little while, but the weather eventually cleared. And for this traveling circus, it was showtime. And before you know it, the crowd started growing.
Hi.
All right, everyone got their seat? This part's special.
But, as we say down here, you don't have to take my word for it.
Entertainers from every corner of the globe are here to wow and amaze you.
If I learned anything from my lunch with Eve, it's that sometimes we just need to order off menu to find what we're really hungry for. Then watch us soar.
I did feel for sure pressure of do this normal, easier route, make a choice, stick to it, and just follow, because you have people to follow and you have people who've done it and they can kind of guide you. I obviously have no regrets that I did not do it that way.
It feels like when millennials came along, we were one of the first generations that started questioning everything.
It's interesting because I sometimes wonder if I'm doing enough. And like I'm playing right into the like millennial trope, right?
A friend of mine stopped me in the grocery store and he said to me, when we were growing up and our parents were growing up, they were looking for a job as part of a job search, a journey, a career path. And I think that's changed a little bit. I think for people your age, I think what you're on is you're on like a career jungle gym. The landscape is always changing. You have to be nimble enough to change with it.
We have worked so hard to win at a game that someone else told us to play. We are now all collectively waking up and realizing that none of us actually wanted that anyway. So many of my friends are now actively pursuing either different careers or pretending like careers don't really matter and doing emotionally fulfilling things. I think that's the millennial crisis.
I am very thankful to be in a career that I am passionate about. And I think that's part of the lie that we were sold. That if we just find something that we're passionate about, we'll be fine. You know, life is limited and we can feel really bogged down and overwhelmed, and that can prevent a lot of people from taking action. Or we can figure out, like, what's my slice of this and how do I help move things forward at all? And we may never, unfortunately, we may never get to see how that pans out, which sucks. But I don't know, I have to hold on to the concept of like my actions ripple through time and do positively influence things somehow.
You're making a difference.
I have no control over all sorts of things, but I'd like to enjoy this life as best I can.
What a great outlook to have, too. Are you happy every day that you wake up?
I wouldn't go that far.
I'm cautiously optimistic as I can be. I kind of am still hesitant because of everything that has transpired in the past 20 years. I feel like at any point the rug could just be pulled out from underneath me again.
A lot of my friends haven't had kids yet, haven't had a home yet, haven't checked off these boxes that when their parents were our age and their parents' parents, etc., it looked a lot different and more put together than I think a lot of us feel.
I don't know. I guess I checked the boxes, but I still don't feel like an adult.
Yes, it's hard. And I think it's hard too when you have like the expectations for yourself, whatever they may be, and you don't feel like you've gotten there.
Every day isn't going to be the best, but started looking at the glass half full.
Could I go out and get a different job and make a lot more money, but work a lot more hours and be around the kids way less? I don't want that.
Look, life's a juggling act.
Paying attention to those like innate needs to have family and friends around, while yes, also paying attention to livelihood and career is always a challenge, but it does feel good when it all like comes together.
Yeah. You seem like you're very happy. Are you happy?
Yes, I'm happy.
I'm happy that you're happy. You look, Lauren, this whole time, you have looked so friggin' happy this entire time. It's incredible.
Maybe it's just the glow of expecting number 3.
Wait, are you serious?
I'm totally serious.
Lauren, 5 minutes ago, I couldn't even hear you. Now you do this?
Drop the mic.
That's it. We're done. You have found it. You are happy as a clam.
Yeah, I am.
So how many lives have you affected?
We've impacted over 10 million lives to date. For me, the key to my sense of purpose in life is doing right by other people.
Were you always like this?
Maybe like the forecast, we just had to wait for everything to clear. Sure, it took a little while. But hey, at least we used that time to find our voice.
There are not that many jobs where at the end of your day, people clap for you. Like a lot of people, like hundreds of people. And maybe they even stand up when they clap for you and cheer for you. It's pretty cool.
That's amazing.
I think probably people assume that it's awesome, which it is.
Are you happy?
Yeah, I'm very happy.
Before we dismiss everyone, there was one last thing I had to do. With fall comes the start of a new school year, so it only felt right to come back here. After all, there was a well-regarded author I'd been meaning to see.
Could you just start with introducing yourself for me, please?
I'm David McCullough. I'm an English teacher at Wellesley High School.
So here we are, commencement.
That author is our English teacher. He took his commencement speech and turned it into a best-selling book. That, yes, I read.
Your commencement speech put me on a path.
I'm sorry.
What was the reaction to your speech?
I'd given a few commencement speeches before that one and went into the delivery of it thinking, here's another one. I was unprepared for the avalanche that hit. Emails, phone calls, it was a bit overwhelming.
None of you is special.
Evidently, I struck a nerve.
You did.
You're not special. You're not exceptional.
Where did you come up with this idea? Was it for the shock value of it all, or was there earnestness in the message that you wanted to deliver for that specific time?
And I thought it was something those kids needed to hear, and the "you are not special" refrain was for the shock value. You can't stand on a stepladder and call yourself tall. Kids raised in privilege don't understand the privileges they enjoy. They take them for granted. They think that's, quote, normal. I thought these kids need to know that once they leave here, that things could well be different for them. No one is going to come rushing to you and fix it for you. And so you've got to, okay, this is the new reality I'm dealing with. What am I going to do?
Even if you're 1 in a million on a planet of 6.8 billion, that means there are nearly 7,000 people just like you.
It wasn't even to me, but it may as well have been for me, and you're absolutely right. What I would say to it, though, is this. Now, having spoken to a lot of my classmates, your argument is sound. But the fact that every day, even despite they still put one foot forward in front of the other, that makes them special.
Right.
Climb the mountain not to plant your flag, but to embrace the challenge, enjoy the air, and behold the view. Climb it so you can see the world, not so the world can see you.
Grinding it out, the one foot in front of the other, is the hallmark of adulthood. People quite naturally think, I've worked really hard and I've played by the rules and I've fulfilled every expectation. Why am I feeling vaguely dissatisfied about where I am and what I've done? And that's kind of normal. That's part of it. It's part of being on the cusp of middle age.
I also hope you've learned enough to recognize how little you know. How little you know now.
If I were to come to you and say, I need one last assignment, I need one last piece of advice.
Have confidence in yourself. Understand that this is a world that needs what you have to offer.
For today is just the beginning. It's where you go from here that matters.
There's nothing more precious than people's time. And I think so often we focus on money, money, money. The reality is, if you give people the chance to make their lives matter, they'll sign up.
I'm ending it there.
Let me tell you about my senior year quote. It questioned where the wind would take us. It was from a song you've likely never heard of, but at least now I've gotten my answer. Turns out, no matter how far we scatter, we've walked down a lot of the same avenues since we last saw each other. Just like you, I did what I had to do to make it this far. We all say to ourselves, I'd like to enjoy this life as best I can, but it's tough in this climate, especially in the winter. Just go your own way and make it work. If only it were that simple. You want to talk hard? Try catching your big break at a time when it felt like there were no jobs. That life we were once promised, this isn't that. You thought adulting would be easy? That wasn't the case for our generation. We're not living the way our parents were at the age we are now. But thanks to the town that we grew up in, we still found a way to make it work and positively influence the world. If everything in the world is about who you know, now I know all of you. And I'm really grateful for it. We're all very fortunate to be here. So let everyone know I've got a story to tell. And don't think for a second you're alone in trying to figure it all out. Because you're not. So, back to that original question. How will the seniors compare to past graduated classes? Well, you tell me, but I'd say we turned out all right.
We made it, Erin, right?
Yeah. Maybe it's the time we're living in, maybe it's our age, but I feel like I'm seeing people start to like click in to like what they've been trying to do for a while.
And honestly, realizing that, I guess really did make this a year worth waiting for. Go figure. I want you to think of this as my take on a new yearbook, one that better reflects where we are today. It's a little rough around the edges, no doubt, but so are we. The whole idea behind reconnecting was to get a report card on life at this critical juncture, and there are still so many conversations waiting to be had.
I think the last time I saw you, I think we were getting a beer at this like little pub. I had just started dating Alex and I was just starting to tell you about him, and you were on your way to Northampton for like your third date with Hillary, your now wife, and I was like very vividly have this memory of like both of us telling each other about like the beginnings of these things, and then they like became our whole lives, and now here we are.
Who's our friend there?
It's a baby. So this was my baby when I was a baby.
This is what it's all about. I got to see your mommy's doll?
I know. That's pretty crazy. I was just going to ask Kristen, like, did you visit Philly like when we were younger? You're muted too. We can hear you now.
You can? I'm like frozen according to my screen.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You look unfrozen to us.
Yeah, you look, or wait.
You're frozen.
I play like Ultimate Frisbee. I play Gultimate, which is sort of a spin-off of Ultimate. Have you heard of it?
Never heard of it.
It's a niche thing now. It's like
Ultimate?
Gultimate, like a goal.
Okay.
I went to Gulty Nationals last year, but that was super fun.
I work in special education, so I work with neurodiverse individuals, and it's just something that I'm really passionate about.
What do you think about it being our 20th reunion?
That's a lot of years.
Yeah.
Is it really 20 years? I don't feel like it's been 20 years. We were so fortunate.
I mean, God, Adam, the last time I saw you, graduation, honestly, if you were at my 21st birthday, I have no memory of that.
Oh,
so
God.
you were there.
I don't think I was cool enough for an invite, and I will be the first to admit that.
Every friendship that I maintain, every career choice that I make is around like protecting my peace and protecting like my mental health and like where I think my limit is. And that takes a lot of time to navigate and get to.
I'm going to tell you 4 words that are going to change your
Oh my.
back to school shopping.
Oh.
It was the most fun.
Really was.
We both have lives, you know, like I have an insane job that demands all of my time. You have a full-blown human being that you're responsible for keeping alive, which is crazy. I think that like breaking the ice of like making that next step into seeing each other, like really having a conversation. I mean, I'm grateful for this as a catalyst for this to happen, and I am really hopeful and excited that this is kind of like the beginning of us like getting back together.
Oh my God. I just wish we could go back and like tell ourselves, oh, it's going to be hard. But there's a through line. Don't worry.
Were you both big into the arts, like field in Wellesley? Did I know this? Like, did I see you?
I mean, I was class artist in the yearbook, but you know.
Who was holding on to the vest?
We didn't have a computer in our hand 24 hours a day. And like, I don't see groups of kids on bikes. I don't see a pile of bikes at like Reedy Field and kids just playing home run derby, or it just seems different.
Do you remember what your screen name was? Husey 1956, because 19 was my lacrosse number, 56 was my football. You didn't even wince on that one. It's true.
We're doing well. Like, why do we feel like we're, still not?
The amount of times I've heard something's unprecedented, like in our specific lifetime and generation, I'm like, how many unprecedented things are we looking at here?
I miss precedented times so much. Hey, Josh is here.
Yo, dude.
Yo, why is Justin also?
What's up?
Mine's too.
Hey guys, you ready to do this reunion video?
No, I'm sorry. It's just for my high school class. Sorry.
Why don't you just do a college reunion video next?
Really fostering self-love, self-confidence, self-trust, because I have to teach it to a child, right? I have to teach generosity, I have to teach gratitude, I have to teach awe. Let's teach awe, right? That's a fun thing.